Morning, everyone. If you look back at some of the other videos that we did 5 years ago or so, life looked a little bit different. We were living in town. I was planning to go back. Actually, my last video, I think I was talking about I was back in the Navy. Now I'm back out, and this is what life looks like now. Right now, I'm gonna trim some hooves. This is not something we plan on doing, but we just got these sheep. All of these sheep within the last 2 months, and with everything going on, building a house, we're getting there. I got to put the roof on and the rafters. I think Chrissy's gonna have to climb up there and help me with those. It's shaky business standing on the joists, the ceiling joists, before the rafters are in, because they all kind of tie in together for a truss to stabilize it. So the got a little catwalk there that kind of helps it stabilize a little bit, but it won't be like completely like tight and stable and really structurally strong until you have at least some of the rafters on, to make a complete truss. But so yeah, I'm going to bring the sheep in here one at a time to trim their hooves. That way, it got a nice small manageable space for them. I got my lasso ready for those that want to stay back there and not come out here with the rest of them. And right now, I'm walking the fence to make sure that we got this Premier One netting right here, and the sheep, even if it's electrified, I don't know, maybe it's the thickness of the wool that sort of insulates them or whatever, but they can push under it. So I'm just sort of, as a matter of fact, if they feel like the grass is better on the other side of the fence, so to speak, they don't have a problem jumping over it either. So I'm just walking the fence here, because after I trim their hooves, it looks like it's still got pretty good amount of grass. Later today, I'll move them over there to where the grass is a little bit thicker. Now you may be thinking, well, there's lots of standing hay here, but that's sage grass, and nothing like sage grass. Sheep don't like it. Horses don't like it. Yes, last year there was a big boom in sage grass in this area, even for farmers that had put limestone on their field to sort of bring up the pH and avoid having sage grass. Even they dealt with a problem with it. And talking to some of them, probably had something to do with the rain cycle last year. So yeah, well, they'll eat around it, and we'll mow all this down. We still need a limestone ours. You see here, they've tested this one a little bit and knocked it down. And you can see in the open field, I've got a regular woven fence right here, and that was easy to do in the open field. But for this part, there's an old, because they used to run cattle on this land before we bought it. There's an old what do you call it, barbed wire fence back there, and that barbed wire is, for one, it's too high, because it's not really set up for sheep. It's set up for cattle. But yeah, this Premier One, it works okay. Apparently, it's a poultry net, so it's really meant to keep what do you call it, predators out from your birds when you're free ranging your chickens and whatnot. But Chrissy's down there looks like she's feeding the rabbits. But for sheep, as long as they're polite, they won't test it, or they got plenty of food. But if they feel like they're not being cared for the way they like to, as in getting to the nice succulent green stuff, they'll try to jump over it. I had to cut one already because our lamb Promise tried to jump through it, and got all tangled up in it. And we had gone to town, and she had enough time to get tangled up in it real bad. Was real worried about keeping her legs, so we went ahead and cut it in half, which, you know, it still works. You can still hook it up to the other one we have, and all that. But it sounds like they're quieting down. They want to get out to this grass, and I'm hoping I can use that to my advantage to get them into the little stall here and cut hooves, but or trim hooves. So yeah, there's an update, and yeah.